God gave us the miracle of natural immunity, and on Healthy Living, we discuss how we can help the body help itself through natural healing with plant medicine and other non-pharmaceutical alternatives.
Welcome to Healthy Living.
Good evening. We're talking about tinnitus tonight. Tinnitus. Oh, the ringing in my ears. And I have a friend down in Meniere. Hello, a nice warm welcome to a friend down there, Celeste. Very nice lady. Had tinnitus problem, and she expressed that to me, and we did some studying months ago. Prayed about that situation, and thankfully she found some relief.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
In the meantime, maybe this can benefit our listeners, the information that you dug up on tinnitus and how to live with it or to treat it in a more natural way and avoiding the pharmaceuticals.
Right. Now, I have noticed that a lot of times I get tinnitus. And a lot of times if I just unplug or shut off my phone or move my phone somewhere else and I go into a quiet room, it will subside. But a lot of times we don't have the luxury of doing that. Right? So we are going to go through a few things that I found. It's not real long, but just a few things that I found that we can do holistically. This
is on diggingdeeper.net for all of our articles. And of course, you've heard us talk about diggingdeeper.us. You can start there and click on the news tab, or diggingdeepertv.com, where you'll be able to view this information at any time online or on Roku.
So tinnitus is not considered to be a disease, but it is a reflection of something being in one's ear and brain. So it could be due to hearing loss, trauma to the hearing apparatus, certain drugs like aspirin, quinine. It could be something as serious as a brain tumor or Meniere's disease, or it could just be an infection or fluid in the ear. Exposure to loud noise, aneurysms, allergies, advanced age, low thyroid levels, depression, wax in the ear, stress, and even a foreign body. So don't stick things in your ear. But the ringing in one's ear can be due to a simple blockage of the ear canal or various ear conditions, infections, osteosclerosis, or Eustachian tube blockage caused due to allergy or viruses. There are many toxic causes of tinnitus, such as heavy metal poisoning, alcohol, antibiotics, quinine, and especially aspirin. So that's something I didn't know, that aspirin can actually cause tinnitus if you take too much of it. Okay. They say other causes could be arteriosclerosis, high blood pressure, which that makes sense, anemia, hypothyroidism, nerve injury due to noises or pressure, various diseases of the nervous system. These can all cause what is ringing in the ears. Now, your tinnitus can be several different forms. It could be a ringing in the ears. It could be something like a scratching noise, screeching noise. You could have echo in the back of your ears. There are several different things that are designated as tinnitus, not just the ringing.
Yeah, I heard there are different types, some pulse, some steady, some high, some low. Yeah,
right.
It's interesting.
So there are some suggested supplements to help relieve some of that, or just get rid of the worst of the symptoms.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Ginkgo biloba. We've all heard of that before.
Yeah, I've seen that on the back of supplements before.
Ginkgo biloba is an herbal supplement used to treat a number of conditions, including tinnitus. Among homeopathic remedies, it's one of the most widely studied. A small 2023 study found that ginkgo biloba, when used in combination with antioxidants, helped improve tinnitus symptoms across several measurement scales. So a lot of times I find with the supplements that it has to do with what you're pairing it with.
Oh.
Not necessarily in and of itself. Okay, so with ginkgo biloba, you need to make sure you have it with antioxidants. Zinc, magnesium, vitamin D, and vitamin 12 are all popular options in homeopathy tinnitus treatments. They all have one thing in common. For each of these, preliminary research suggests that they may improve tinnitus because you have a deficiency. And we talked about magnesium deficiency last week, didn't we?
Isn't that a coincidence?
Yes. And we know that people are low in vitamin D, especially in the winter.
Yep.
Or in these high heat waves where you don't want to go out because it's so hot.
Exactly.
And magnesium we're short on just because, zinc and magnesium both, because we don't have the those metals in the water and the soil as much as we used to. We've stripped so much away of it.
Exactly. We've killed it off.
Right. If you have a hard time falling asleep because of your tinnitus, try some melatonin.
There you go. Okay. Natural.
And a 2023 survey found that the majority of people who live with tinnitus and have it always in the back of their head reported that cannabis eased their symptoms.
Oh, how about that?
There are also specific homeopathic remedies. Number one is called Quinine sulphureum. This helps treat ringing in the ears and deafness as well as Meniere disease. It's beneficial for the humming in one's ears. Roaring in the ears during the nights can also be treated by this. The patient may suffer from chilliness or vertigo, during which time the tinnitus can be treated. So this is specifically for humming or roaring in the ears. Okay? Natrum sicilium is good for severe headache, ringing in the ears, deafness, and impairment of vision for distant objects. It's useful for vertigo, noises in the ears with loss of bone conduction. So that's Meniere's disease, or just if you have, the small bones in your ears aren't working properly. Natrum sicilium tends to work. It can also be used for prostration after influenza. So it helps with flu recovery. Belladonna. Now I've heard of this one.
That's a song by Stevie Nicks. And as a matter of fact, it's a whole album.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It's also a natural supplement.
Flashback. Yeah. Boy, if I'd have known that when I was a kid, I would have been eating that stuff like candy.
Yeah. Belladonna can be made use. This can be made use for treating wind rushes out of one's ear, pulsation in the ear, and hardness of hearing. So if you hear like wind noises or the pulsating like you were talking about before, belladonna.
Okay.
Sicilium acidum is useful for vertigo, the tendency to fall to the left side. I don't know why the left side. And surrounding objects falling to one's right side for headaches and Meniere's disease. Simple deafness due to tinnitus can also be cured by medication or other health issues such as roaring in the ears, deafness due to vertigo can also be treated by Sicilium acidum. Then there's graphites. This medication helps treat hissing, ringing, roaring, or clucking.
Clucking?
Clucking.
Not sure I've heard clucking. That's good.
Acute pressure in the inner ear can also be treated with graphites.
How do you apply the graphites?
I don't know. Is this the one that's the droppers?
Okay, we'll have
Maybe.
to check into that.
I think there's some of these that are actually where you actually, it's a tincture that you put directly in the ear.
Okay.
And I'm not sure which one's which. Lycopodium helps cure the oversensitiveness of hearing. So if you're highly sensitive to loud noises or high-pitched noises, it also helps treat roaring and humming as well as whizzing in one's ears.
Yeah, nobody wants whizzing in your ear.
No, don't be whizzing in my ear.
Keep that away.
And lastly, calcarea carbonica. Calcarea carbonica. This one can be used for treating hardness of hearing, singing, and roaring or crackling sounds. This helps cure pulsating in the ear as well as purulent, offensive discharge from the ears. Ew.
Yeah, yuck.
So there are several reasons why you might have tinnitus. And there are several different ways that you can treat it. So according to what I found, you just got to do a little of your own research.
These are some very good suggestions, and you can double check those, like she said, with your own research. Just do some, don't trust one source, and don't trust one search engine, and do your best to try to search somewhere other than that good old internet.
Yeah.
You can find books.
Yes.
And materials in other places.
Right.
These are good.
If you are lucky enough to have a holistic doctor within your area, you could check with them as well.
Mm-hmm.
But there are doctors who actually study holistic treatments. And if that's the route you want to take instead of medication, they can help you with that. They're few and far between.
Mm-hmm. But they're out there, and they're legal, and they're effective.
Yes. So that's what we've got for healthy living.
All right. We appreciate you listening to our Healthy Living segment. Tonight, it's Healthy Living, Healing Through Plant Medicine. And tonight, it was natural alternatives to helping relieve tinnitus.
Mm-hmm.